Oh boy, oh boy, 129 safe. Thanks to the mercurial tune. And I mean, I know that choice leads to two endings, but I don't really remember which one was the one that was supposed to be chosen first. So yeah. Neither the transcendent Mercury expecting the final arc as it unfolded, nor the Golden Harbinger standing atop a magic circle stretching across the canvas of the far heavens could refrain from expressing their joy. What? The souls of the Crimson Rubber and the Madden Albert defeated in the very same moment, joined with the Iron Eagle to return unto Reinhard's breast. You fucking cheater! Calling back into his ever-swelling legion, fearless in prose across all the cosmos. Say what? Come back here. We are about to kick your ass as well. Although not even he could tell where that might be. Seeing his sworn friend off with a meager glance, Reinhard once again shifted his gaze downwards. There were countless things he would have wished to discuss, but for now he would focus his attention on the finale of this opera, and the conclusion it would impart upon them. The gift of the unknown. Oh. His heart danced with excitement. A certain man once told him that he was not releasing his full potential. Those words were indistinguishable from the illusion of a young man intoxicated with a feeling of independence. But he was exactly that, a being that didn't belong in this world. Nothing he beheld would move him. His heart was a stranger to liberty, the thrill of victory. Never had he felt satisfaction as men did when a great obstacle crumbled beneath their feet. He would make that logic of his universal, and so the world would behold the true power of the monarch of destruction. He would ravage, absorb, and pay the cosmos anew in his color. The world fit for him would be born in its wake, bursting forth in a torrent as it emanated, washing away the olden law that once was. And thus, in this very moment, he had to identify the one who would receive the very essence of his being in mortal battle. For becoming what they were, his opponents were truly worthy of this love. And so he could finally utter the question that tormented him for eons. How could he topple this accursed for knowledge incessantly swirling within his breast? Here turned his adversary's fierce glare. I don't really see anything fearful in that glare. Not interested? And thus began their final, grander than any struggle fought before, an exquisite clash to end it all. Wait, that's the lance, right? If I remember correctly. He had long since yearned for this moment, entering the ever-present torment of that wretched ghetto. Or this would be the final battle in its truest sense, leading us to a genuine conclusion. To grant all our wishes, to make sure history never repeats itself again.
Reinhard. 返してもらうぞ。俺たちのすべて。
I probably.
K に尋ねたいと思うことがある。友とは何だ?
The spear of destiny and the blade. I don't remember correctly it was the spear. The spear of destiny and the blade of decapitation clashed, each of our respective strikes imbued with all our strength. It would hardly be a surprise to see the fight ended with the very first attack. However, the result was different. Even in the face of Reinhard, I stood my ground and managed to engage him in a fight. I could neither grasp the extent of my growth nor feel joyous about finally reaching his level. All I cared about was figuring out the best way to end this fight. For clashing against him would eventually stop being a simple matter of life and death.
肩を並べる好敵手。無視できぬ人生の重要素。互い気心を知り尽くし、もはや引き裂けぬ肥沃のちぎりか。 私有の概念にこだわらずとも陰と陽なら万物にあろう。
And don't you think it's the same with friendship as it is with love? As I said before, if someone asks you why do you love that person, you say you don't know, and that's the true love. Isn't the same with friendship? Why is he your friend? How would I know? Well, maybe it doesn't work like that. Why do you want him to be his friend? Why do you want her to be your friend? I don't know, just want? Something like that. Well, I guess you get the gist of my thought.
その磁力。絆というならこれほど強固なものはない。影と光は決して単体ではありえんのだ。
Both Reinhard and myself were emanating our words as we spoke. Actually, you were emanating Mark's word, I believe. The victor of this duel would paint the world anew in his color, which I couldn't know would happen, neither for him nor myself. Both Reinhard's irae and my Zarathustra were hells of the vilest kind. Most certainly not something that should spread and infect the world. As such, I had to use Mari. I could derail this madness as long as I had her gentle embrace supporting me. We should be mere stepping stones for her ascension to the throne, but to make that happen, I still need to take care of a few things.
友とはそれか？生と死か？ならば破壊の愛をまとう私は何だという？
I would do precisely what the friend of Reinhard hoped for, but I wouldn't let everything go his way. The two of them had gone too far. They robbed me of too many things. Every single one of them had their lives and dreams, lovers, family, or friends. No matter how insignificant may have seemed to an outsider, they all had stories of their own. And Mercurius, that accursed god of malevolence, talked with them all. Oh fuck, I didn't want to do this. For a second I got rid of the game from my screen, and the fact that this pops up every time I checked if the recording goes well is annoying. When Reinhard, the Mephistos of beginning light, consumed their souls with hollow promises of power and glory, we would liberate these souls from your prison. That was all I, Mari, and Himura wished for. I knew what I had to do.
私は何を壊すために存在するのだ？
Maybe yourself. Reinhard addressed me with an intention to confirm, rather than inquire. Who was he? There was but one answer to that.
お前は悪魔だ。
悪魔か。確かにカールもそう言っていたな。ケイラの語らい、実に見せられたよ。胸が震えた。力の強弱、起こせる事象の大小など問題ではない。あれこそが、あの工場こそが全ての真理だ。愛し合い、思い合い、喰らい合い、壊し合う。敬とその友に敬意を払おう。教師たる者には礼をもって尽くさねばならん。なあ、故に教えてくれぬかな？どんな気分だ？私のうちに渦巻く遭遇。その一滴と化した友に何を願う？Kは彼をどのように定義している
？As our weapons plunged at really good speeds, Reinhard threw one question after another my way. The definition of a friend, to me, sure, was essentially what that abomination was to him. Ink and Yak chose the blade of destruction that incessantly forced me to move forward against my wishes, the repugnant light guiding my way. Our relationships had been exactly the same, with only one decisive difference, the potency of our radiance.
あいつらは先行だ。
And not only him, everyone whom I wished to protect him forever locked in time with myself.
俺の好きな、俺の刹那だ。
The sunlit respite I so longed to protect.
刹那、つまり歌方の夢に過ぎんと？夢ならば与えてやろう。願うならば叶えてやろう。誰もが胸に思い描き、 その主役となるのを望む非日常ならここにある。
The holy lance pierced through the sky in the magnificent arcs, leaving shimmers of light in its wake, while the guillotine's blade slashed through the air without hitting its target. Yet Reinhard continued his monologue, paying little attention to the ongoing battle.
殴れば倒れ、撃たれれば死に、与えられた肩書きを取り払えば皆同じだ。賠償なり。それに不満を持つ心、相手飢えて苦しく望む断崖の果てにこそ、私が送る祝福が存在する。そこに飛翔する翼がいるなら、湘南の夢となればいい。刹那が愛しければ幻想になるしかあるまい。K の友はそう思った。死後の夢ならば英語を見させてやろうではないか。
違う。
I swung my blade with all my strength, parrying the flash of the holy lance, and continued with a swift consecutive strike as he was rendered momentarily open.
今のここに、この胸にある。
I could still feel the beating of their hearts, the shimmers of their light.
消えちゃいない。なくしていない。
I still had light in my soul, and it was precisely pride that instilled me with all that allowed me to stand my ground here. So,
幻想になんか、あいつらを幻想になんか変えてたまるか。
I'd never acknowledge your dream of the dead.
もうこれ以上俺の刹那を何一つお前たちに奪わせない。
And for that I would raise the throne of this fucked up world if it was the last thing I did. So nothing like this could ever happen again. My ephemeral light would not yield to your gold.
現実を生きる。刹那を抱いて誇りに変え、私を否定するのが K の境地か。はい、わかった。ああ、美しいな。確かに先行であろうよ。だが私の刹那はもう過ぎ去った。破壊の光は先行であった頃のラインハルト・ハイドリヒに戻れんのだよ。私も共に壊されたのでな。
His voice rang with the antinomy of envy and ridicule. Reinhard pointed the tip of his lance at me, stifling a smile.
さて、先日の続きだ。見事これを止めてみたまえ。K の光、ただの刹那であれば飲み込むまでよ。見せてくれ。幻想にはならぬと言ったそのレギオンを。
May turn into a star illuminating the path of truth.
あるいはそれで私も夢から覚めるやもしれん。
He wished me to remind him of the time-worn moment his essence morphed into the light of destruction. And so the golden light erupted. I could feel its condensed destruction shave my skin from here. The thing had been on a whole other level compared to what I witnessed at the castle. I had no right to falter or flee. I couldn't achieve my goal unless I drew out his full power. I used my blade like a shield to protect myself from his golden light. I expect the impact to vaporize me then and there. My limbs grew numb, my blood vessel burst, and blood gushed forth from my eyes. Like hell I could. I never acknowledged his word, or Mercurius for that matter, and of course my own was out of question too. And so I had to guide him to a place where the clash of our words would not cause an apocalypse. To a place where humor would not follow him in death. I grit my teeth so hard they cracked, my nails splintered and my bones fractured, but I ignored the pain. Wasn't it fractured? It was a fight of will. I had to put both my body and soul on the line to reclaim all I had lost. Seriously, I must check it out because it's bothering me now. Fractured. Okay, even the translator says it was fractured, damn it, I was correct. I knew something seems not correct.
かすみ
Don't try, I'm gonna take care of this.
シロ
Just you watch, I'll show you what your best mount is made of.
だから
Surrounded by the all-enveloping light of golden destruction, I hold at the top of my lungs. Just let me have this one moment to shine. Let me be a man worthy of you all. I would breathe life into my resolve, making it tangible, and shoot the glance came of theirs out of the sky. And in a split second the golden light flickered out.
奴隷の軍団になんか負けてたまるか
The explosion of my soul shattered these out of the beginning light. Reinhard hesitated, trying to comprehend what had just passed through the back of his mind. The sensation was similar to the foreknowledge he had known so well, but not exactly the same. It was somehow different. Something akin to both to a premonition and a memory. He felt like he had come to know the conclusion of this battle. It came in a form so sweet to Reinhard as one of the goals he tried to achieve. It mesmerized the golden beast, filling him with faith. He would readily sacrifice all to achieve such bliss. Should he march onwards, surrendering himself to the shroud of ecstasy, he would see what lay beyond the day of wrath. He understood that now. But something was ever so subtly different compared to that time. What had he gained from acknowledging his child? What feelings blossomed in his heart as the two fought? What was he trying to ask and learn from his marvelous adversary? What was the precipitous venture that he fought to attempt?
私は
How did it come to pass that he found himself on the path to hegemony? Did he choose to become the light of destruction by himself? He most certainly thought so before, but a memory from the days when he himself was still but a flicker of light. A faint recollection that lingered in the deepest recesses of his mind. The day fate brought him together with a trickster in a prison cell, one just as wary as he was. What did those pair of golden eyes glimpse in that moment? I couldn't imagine what might have flashed through his mind, but something momentarily caused Reinhard's consciousness to retreat from the fight. A memory, a vision. In that case, no one could argue it was a foolish action that would normally invite certain death in battle. An unimaginable moment of complete oblivion. To me it seemed like he'd been looking at some distant scenery from another world.
ああそうか私はつまり
A whisper so faint it barely reached my ears, but in the next moment it turned into an explosive surge of elation. Is he going mental? The lance flashed to the air as if to drown out his mud and cackle.
さあ導いてくれ我が盟友の写しみよ
His lance lacked any hint of surgery or technique. After I effectively blocked it and our swords became locked together, Reinhard's soul boomed like thunder. A feral scream of liberation, a plea of exhilaration.
その魂でその勇気で真に私を満たしてくれKしかできん Kしか成し得ぬ無ビューの流星だよ恋願おう私の愛を
No thanks. I don't go that way.
真実燃焼させる刹那をくれ
In other words, he seemed to have finally realized the truth. What with the sudden, complete lack of sound? Or is it just my headphones? No, I think not. That there was no going ahead for either of us before first opening a hole. And for that we had to Oh,
怒りの日、終末の時、天地万物は怪人と化し、ダビデとシビラの予言のごとくに砕け散る。
god damn it.
たとえどれほどの旋律が待ち受けようとも、審判者が来たり、厳しく正され、一つ余さず燃え去り消える。
Till he chanced upon something he had yet to ravage. To lay waste upon all things in creation, from the first universe that was to the last that will ever be.
我が総軍に響き渡れ、絶えなる調べ、海戦の合法よ。皆すべからく玉座のもとに集うべし。かの日、涙と罪の裁きを、ケーラ、灰よりよみがえらん。されば天使よ、その時彼らを許したまえ。
He believed this stage to be set, yet a revelation claimed that not to be the case. He had to ride the waves of time to reach a proper conclusion.
慈悲深き者よ、今永遠の死を与える。
Man, to the back of the stage, to the time when he still lived in a mere flicker of light. You have my gratitude, Zarathustra. The whole cosmos pales in your beauty. This was the beginning of the end. To a starting point none of us knew, the ephemeral moment extending along eternity, to break through and finally let it come to an end.
助けてやるからな。
I hope my sentiment reached them. I didn't pray for a miracle, and instead made an oath to save them myself.
絶対俺がそこからお前たちを救ってやるから。
But you can see how feeble I am on my own. I'd always tried doing everything on my own, a bad habit I was very much conscious of. So please, guide my way.
信じてくれ。力を貸してくれ。俺は一人じゃない。
We wouldn't lose here. I poured my very being into achieving victory.
そうだよ。私が全部包むから。
We had nothing to fear.
一緒に。
さあ、
We would transcend and finally put an end to this sorry excuse for a play, enacting our own acta est fabula.
海は幅広く無限に広がって流れ出すもの。水底の輝きこそが永久不変。
There was only one way to eradicate the culprit behind this mess, accomplishing Reinhard's initial plan.
栄光たる星の速さとともに今こそ疾走して駆け抜けよう。
The flashes of light at my side, I could still feel them.
どうか聞き届けてほしい。世界は穏やかに安らげる日々を願っている。
I had lost so much, my heart endured so much pain. So I had to make this one count. I wouldn't accept any other outcome.
自由な民と自由な世界でどうかこの瞬間に言わせてほしい。
Both of us believed it to be the greatest of jewels.
時よ止まれ。君は誰よりも美しいから。
To unleash the ephemeral moment of boundless beauty and love.
永遠の君に願う。俺を高みへと導いてくれ。
This time I would put an end to the grand guignol once and for all.
アティルト。
ジロー。
落ちて。
落ちろー。
I addressed the two zoning kings, the two overseers of the vast legions whirling inside my heart to grant me guidance. I was surprised to sense Himura, but in that moment I felt the heart of Isaac as well. I could tell that he too shivered in exhilaration at this outcome. He wished to be of use to his father. To fulfill his wish, he wanted him to utter that he was his one and only son. In that case,
怖い。
show me the way, let me rate. Your heart had learned the touch of flames, so utter the name of the one for whom your passion burns.
コールクロフト。
That's right, in which case, our goals coincided. We both were cogs within the elaborate designs crafted by our fathers, so let us break free of this fate together. We're both alive, so let us live and fight as people of flesh and blood. You can feel her hemorrhoid, can't you? You've been touched by her soul. What did it tell you? Tell me of the craving that stirs your heart, not the one that belongs to machine, but the wish of a man.
父様
He wished to fulfill his dream. He wished for him to praise him as much a worthy son. He knew not his mother, his children, friends, or even life, but he happened to learn of his father. He learned that he was his son. He wished for this gold, the one and only thing he had been granted in his life, to burn bright and radiant, to be his utmost pride. He had grown conscious of being extraordinary, and by gaining that he lost all else. In the end, his vast hunger converged on but a single thing. He would do everything to have his father acknowledge him. Even knowing it would invite only depravity and aberration, he failed to cast aside that craving. That was why he reached his hand out of hell, infusing his body and soul, the entirety of his existence, with one wish, to grasp the true luster of gold. And as an offspring of demons straight from the abyss to fell the heavens was none other than supreme bliss in his mind. His father was born for that singular purpose. It felt only natural for him to exist for the goal as well. Just wait, Carcraft, your serpentine throne shall be ours. The exalted legion of the beast is on its way to rip your throat to shreds. And for that he would guide his father to the ephemeral moment, to have Reinhard, Heydrich, and mere flicker of human life be reborn as the true gold of destruction. Let me relate, Regia, you too, Zarathustra. Let us plunge down his hole in the cosmos together and shatter the throne of madness that lies at its bottom. That is what you wished for, is it not? I can tell your heart beats with mine. You two love each other, much like I love my father.
You know, the way they love each other is kinda sick. If you say you and your father...
I can finally comprehend it now. As long as it burns in our hearts, the impossible becomes possible. And the two colors clashed against each other with power that sent shivers across the universe, ripping wholly its vast canvas. Beyond it lay a space devoid of color, the singularity of the world. Yet the girl of Swift refused to grace her former abode with a glance. She had been ashamed of the time she spent as prisoner to this colorless space, and now had her eyes set on lands of a different kind. Ren, Rhea, Isaac, and Reinhard shared in that sentiment. They broke through the twilight, digging even deeper in the breach, towards the source of the very cosmos of mankind, the throne of the serpent. Indeed, it all began here. The blunder of letting himself down in ecstasy and averting his gaze from the pleading songstress must have proved to be the herald of the jester's destruction. And yet...
なるほど、そうきたか。
The serpent retained his smile, neither his voice nor his gaze betrayed any sign of trepidation. He had come to know a billion different hues of despair, and so this man, this shade upon the entire cosmos, remained unwavering. In other words, their true battle still lay beyond the precipice. However, it was but moments away, resting upon scales most uncertain. But Reinhard felt bereft of his sense of reality. He woke suddenly and with unprecedented discomfort.
ここは
Yeah, I mean in a room, but what the hell is going on? Seeing the daze, he turned around to be met with a familiar sight reflected in his confused eyes. That worn wooden desk, the amount of papers resting on it, the cup of tea, now seemingly cold as ice. There was nothing strange about this. He was in his very own office, the one that had been granted following his promotion to Lieutenant General.
眠っていたのか私は
He shook his head, his features contorting in frustration, not due to the headache, but rather the irritating fact that he nodded off before finishing up his papers. He must have slept for about 10 minutes, it seemed. He reflected upon himself apathetically. Negligence and sloth were two characteristics of men of his stature. The executioner of the state could under no circumstances be allowed to exhibit. His pride would never forgive it either. Are you crazy? Yes, you are. Responsibility was the duty of a modern man. It mattered little if the task itself was trifling and time-consuming. He was no more than an automaton, and whom the world would hardly even bother to bear its thanks. Lieutenant generals or mere rank and file, all were but cogs in one giant mechanism. There was no place in it for those who failed to fulfill their duties. Now that I think about it, my headache kinda went away, I think. Or maybe I just got used to it. It is possible as well. Reinhard skimmed through one of the papers, scribbling his signature at the bottom of the page. A highly menial form of labor. He had been repeating the countless days now. They didn't spill the water, luckily enough. Scandals, censorship, regulations, propaganda. They were all the same, deaf to all the guilty as well as those in the grey area just for good measure. He would then pick one or two from the innocent to make an example. Anyone could do it. No one in the third race would hold him accountable, even if he made a mistake. The kind of manual labor even a child could carry out. Yeah. Reinhard received this position only because he would rest less than the others, and thus do it slightly more efficiently. The world had yet to see a blunder man. It seemed almost as he was born only to carry out the work that others instructed him to.
しかし、くだらん夢を見たものだ。よりにもよって、地獄の主だと?
It would be crazy now the credits appeared after that, after I clicked in a button. But no, the dream he had was simply that far beyond the realm of common sense. He became a king of the dead, a Totenkopf emperor that lorded over an entire legion of abominations. He hadn't heard of anything more ridiculous. A notion fit for a child's daydream or a madman's delusions, a rotten hallucination experienced by lunatics as they drifted asleep, pumped full of sedatives. Vile and in utterly bad taste, incomprehensible. The apparent vileness of his own subconscious left Reinhard somewhat surprised. The final morsels of love and respect he still felt for himself evaporated then and there.
かつての対戦、その競争に当てられたか。
Ridiculous, the very definition of nonsense. He had been born immune to the thrill of emotions. Not once had he felt warmth in his breast. The only sparks he knew how to produce were ones that sent a chill down the spine, and even those he managed only once or twice in his life. As such, it was difficult to imagine that a turmoil of fickle and aimless justice could possibly affect him in any noticeable fashion. Country, people, ideals, race, religion, they could all fight for whatever they wanted. It mattered little, there was no shortage of pretexts in the world. Meanwhile, he would simply continue doing his job. He would carry out all orders that reached from him from above without a moment's rest, for Reinhard had his entire existence hinged on the fact that he refused to ever cut corners when it came to his profession. A boring man who lived in a monochrome and orderless world.
それが、夢とはいえああまで笑うか。
Never would he wear a smile so broad. To even toy with the notion was folly, for it was an aspiration that no amount of years would fulfill. The derisive smirk of a devil or god gazing down from beyond the far heavens. The muscles in his cheeks were rigid as steel. Merely opening his mouth meant a troublesome task. One could almost hear his jaw creak with effort. So was the dream manifestation of his secret desires? The delusional yearnings that he himself had not been conscious of? A far-fetched fantasy that all men dream of at least once or twice in their youthful days? The self-consolation of the psyche, a demolition of reality? Could it be that becoming the lord of a legion of demons was precisely what his heart truly desired?
入れ。
He answered the knock at the door. Reinhard's pointless contemplation vanished without a trace by the time he raised his face from the papers on his desk. A man entered the room in an orderly manner. As Reinhard spotted the insignia of a colonel on his collar, all his attention instantly shifted to work.
失礼します、中将殿。折り入ってお耳に入れておきたい件が。前置きはいい。見ての通り、私にはまだ目を通さなければならん報告が山ほど積まれてある。下級のようなら早く申す。時間が惜しい。
The colonel glanced at the papers on the desk. He knew Reinhard was not a man to mince words, and as such promptly straightened his back and began his report.
はあ、実はつい先ほど、総統閣下の御身に。
A noise he could feel a lit slide away from his memories. And the man did not need to utter another breath, for Reinhard already knew.
暗殺未遂が起こったか。
An inexplicable conviction formed itself in the words, escaping his lips.
はい、その通りでございます。さすが中将殿、こうまで耳が早いとは思いもよりませんでした。
Reinhard's features remained impassive in response to his subordinate's surprise. But it was he who wished to be surprised. Reinhard uttered words that he could not have known, as if having remembered them. In fact, the sensation did not feel fresh at all, and only uncanny feeling, as if he had just stared into the eyes of his reflection in the mirror, unsure of which one of them was real. A sensation that he had been intimately familiar with, as if it had tormented him his entire life. An immense feeling of discomfort stirred the resignation nestling within his heart. Reinhard found it unpleasant, yet never would he allow it to show. He instead stood up as if trying to continue the conversation, take a few steps toward the door.
案内しろ。残りの詳細は移動の傍らにでも知ればいい。